I'm a crazy, goofed up guy. My name is Robert Oscar Walker, and you're watching The Castaway Show. Are you wondering what that's all about? It's not like people that are out on the boat being cast away on some island, but actually, you might think that maybe that's the truth, because the United States and the Earth is a castaway place. You know, we've all come from somewhere. We've been cast away from some place. We have all kinds of different nationalities. America's a melting pot. I'm from Butte, Montana. That's one of the biggest melting pots in the whole United States. I'd like to go further about that, but thank God for the people that came to Butte, Montana and mined all that copper and all the other minerals, especially the copper, because it electrified the whole world. So, you know what? We're pretty neat, pretty unique people. Now, I want to point out a couple things here. Oh, first of all, I forgot to brush my teeth. You'll have to excuse me for a minute. Oh, I lost my teeth because I didn't brush enough. Hey, kids, get those toothpaste and toothbrush every day. Oh, look at this. I forgot. Well, since I haven't done that. Oh, by the way, you know, this coat and almost everything that's in here, including this digital camera and a number of other things. I don't have enough time to get into it all. But all of this stuff was usually and mostly in the dumpsters of Missoula, Montana, usually, because I've been here for a while. And look at this nice, beautiful hat from Rockin' Rudy's. It's got a leather bill on it, pretty nice, out of the dumpster. What a deal, huh? Nobody would ever even know. But all these clothes are either from the dumpster, clean usually. I would wash them before I would wear them, including my underwear. But anyway, the idea is, now see this here, this is a Stetson men's original aftershave. Now, as you can see, I haven't shaved, but, oh, wait a minute. I guess you, how's that work? I thought it was one of them spray deals. But you know what? I need this stuff because I haven't taken a shower today. Anyway, this smells really good. I mean, if you don't put too much on it. Anyway, here's another item, a magnifying glass. How cool are these? You know what? Does anybody know who invented this thing? Probably Ben Franklin. I don't know, something related to the eyeglasses. Anyway, I want us to examine closely the fact that we are the most wasteful country in the world. Everyone knows it, but we're really not doing anything about it to speak of. Montana only recycles 12% of its waste. Unlike these people in other places, Seattle recycles 50%, San Francisco recycles 75%. Now here's a book that, and a lot of these books, they're either out of the garbage, dumpster, the castaway place, or they're from the library where a friend of mine, Chris Davenport, suggested when she was on the library board years ago that they would take and recycle magazines and books, and they're still doing it today. It needs to be refined. But here's one book here. Now this is from the library. See, it says withdrawn. 50 simple things kids can do to save the earth. Now you know what? We're all kids, aren't we? We're just, like me, and you, if you're older, you're an old kid. Now look at this. Here's one of the chapters here. It says too much garbage. By the way, I'm going to put a plug for this guy, Lawrence Larry Reichelt. He's really a good guy. He cares about the earth. He's an older guy, 75 years old. He knows his business. So I would give him a thought about when you go to vote for the Justice of the Peace, Department 1. Anyway, I'll just read this one paragraph. It says, garbage away. When you throw something away, it goes in a garbage can. Once a week, the garbage truck comes and the can is emptied, and that's the last you see of it. But what do you think happens to the garbage then? Does it just disappear? No way. If you want to, I would suggest you get this, tell your folks to get this copy of this thing. Because it says, what happens to your garbage? The big mess, our mission. Here's how. Recycling. Duh! If you don't want it, even if there's, doesn't seem to be of any value to you, it might be a broken thing. But maybe somebody else would want it. Like this broken chair right here. I picked this up yesterday, and you know what? There's nothing wrong with it except there's a couple of the back supports missing, and they can be replaced very easily. And this is an antique. This bugger here was built maybe in the late 1800s. Anyway, it's bent wood. It's beautiful. There's nothing wrong with it. I mean, it can even be used without the back supports. So anyway, I picked up this other magazine just the other day called Montana Woman. And one of the columns here is written by Nicole Dunn. It's Earth Folk, Earth Day, every day. That's right, every day we should be saying, we don't want to throw all the stuff we don't want into a garbage can and then throw it into the earth. The earth, a lot of people call it Mother Earth. It's not a garbage can. Would you throw garbage in your mother's home or her bedroom or something? Come on. Speaking of books, here's a couple more books. Look at this. Zane Grey, Rogue River Feud. Zane Grey, fabulous, awesome Western writer. The Big Sky, written by A.B. Guthrie Jr. He's a Pulitzer Prize-winning author of The Way West, right from here in Montana. Here's another story that you'd be interested in. Good Night Chet, a biography of Chet Huntley, born in Whitehall, Montana. He was one of the greatest newscasters that we have ever had and will ever have in this beautiful America. Here's another book that I picked up called Connections. A splendid, marvelously illustrated and written with a lively wit. It's about all the people the inventions that they have come across and developed to help our world. And this is a thing that we don't do enough of. We don't encourage people with their ideas. For instance, look at this. Take a close-up of that one there. That baby was in a dumpster along with a whole lot other of these kits to make clocks. Now, time is on our side? Well, I don't know. The thing is, we have to look at what is happening now to see what's going to happen in the future. Now, all of these items are made of material that came from Mother Earth. Now, it's one thing to recycle them correctly, but when you throw them into a hole in the ground and let them all congregate, and a lot of this stuff is toxic stuff from under your sinks, the drain cleaners, all the petroleum products, oils, all these cleaners and stuff, they go into the landfill and they go eventually into the water table. And I don't know about you, but I like clean water. And I think we all need that. So we ought to be looking at what we're going to do in the future. I'll go through this real quickly here. Look at this cute little item, a little needle point. And this brings up a critical point with me, that I am so upset and disgusted with the fact that our mothers and sisters and aunts and uncles and people like Rosie Greer, he knitted. What's the big deal? It's a beautiful talent that somebody has to give other people pleasure, and so somebody does this and then they throw it away. What? That doesn't make any sense. Give it to somebody else to enjoy. We got all these other things, plastic items. Now look, this is gross, right? If I wouldn't open it up, but this is one of them Glad deals. It's a nice little package thing that you can reuse. Look at that. They were busy. The kids graduated from college, throw the stuff. I didn't have time to mess around, so I had to throw it away. But you know what? It's terrible. Speaking of throwaways, look at this. This is a Grizzly water or beverage deal, and it is tough, baby. Now, hopefully, this isn't the kind that's supposed to exude some kind of the chemicals from it. I'm not sure. I would guess it isn't, but I really don't know how much really does. But you know, go Grizz, right? Here's speaking of the graduates, this was in the dumpster, and I was able, because I found some information in the dumpster, and I was able to find the gentleman that got this from the tassel off of his graduation cap. 2010. But he didn't want it. He said he had another one. So, you know, to me, I'm concerned about people, and this is a pretty important item to me. I don't know if I ever get to graduate college, but I'd like to. Anyway, back to some of the other items I don't have. Let's see. Oh yeah, here's a pan. Now see this unit right here. You can use this for a flower pot that way, or you can put it up on a wall and use it for a pot hanger. You know, whatever. You can make it for a combination. Have a flower pot and a hanger pot, or a hanger for your pots. So it's a pot. And you can even grow pot in there if you want, because it's legal now if you're a caregiver. Anyway, if we don't want to throw it away, if we don't want it anymore, which, you know, Teflon coated or whatever, some of that stuff can really, I guess, hurt our bodies, can't deal with it. This is aluminum. Why throw it away? Take the handle off, recycle the plastic somewhere, recycle the aluminum. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Look at this beautiful little deal. This is a gold pine cone that you put a candle in, and I forgot to bring the candle. Here's a nice little wooden box. It's got a picture of, looks like Oriental, the samurai people or something in here. You know, that's still a nice little box. For somebody, give it to somebody. Tools, I got all kinds of tools thrown away all the time. Tons of tools. This is a chalk box, a chalk line, so you can make a line to cut your wood or whatever in case your ladies don't know, or put whatever, you know, it's a tool. And here's my cell phone. These things, they're designed to last about a year. Then you throw them away. Too many times people are throwing all this stuff we don't need to throw away in the trash. This got mercury, all kinds of toxic metals in it that goes into the landfill, gets run over by a big tractor, a trash smasher. They're a big bulldozer type of unit that they're heavy, real heavy, and there's no sense to it, you know? I get sick of it. Oh, since I've thrown that down there, I'm going to bring this up. Now this is usually a lot of stuff I won't pick up, but I thought that's a nice colored box, somebody fancy. But you know, look what's inside of it. Someone had put their seeds in here. For crying out loud, you know, somebody could use those.
It shows the seeds in there.
Yeah, seeds will last a long time. I mean, they found some in the pyramids. Garden beans, carrots, radishes, kale, bush beans, more radishes, cucumbers, more cucumbers, tomatoes. Which, by the way, tomatoes, you know, in the Dark Ages, they thought tomatoes were poisonous. Isn't that something? And they're one of the most useful and vegetables. Everybody uses that. I mean, most people. Garden beans. I mean, you name it. More tomatoes, peas. I mean, it's ridiculous, you know. And back to another thought I have regarding the seeds. You know, what's one idea worth that works? I like to use Velcro. You know, they said he was nuts. I mean, it's virtually everywhere. What a useful thing that came from nature. Speaking of ideas, this was in the dumpster, electronic snap kits to build exciting projects. I'm going to give that to my middle son. He's got 3 young kids that they can have a project together and have fun. You like animals? Look at that. Beautiful little, I don't know if this came out of Cardwell, Montana, but they have a place over there called Clays and Calico, and this looks like it, but doesn't have their name on it. But isn't that a nice little animal? I love it. Look at all these little, I call myself like a raven, you know, or a bowerbird. They look for shiny things. I don't know about you, but I like shiny things. Isn't that cool? That looks like it's made in India or something. It's got all them shiny little deals. Here's another one. You know, why don't they give it to somebody instead of throwing it away? Everybody knows what this is, isn't it? I can't get to the string right now, but it's a lightning yo-yo. Guess where it's made? In America! Can you believe it? There's still some things made in America. Thank God. And here we go again. What's this? A glasses case. I need glasses cases all the time. My poor glass gets smashed. This is the other thing. They throw away glasses all the time. Why don't they take them to the Kiwanis, I think. The Rotary. So, I mean, one of those service organizations, they take glasses and recycle them to help people who don't have money. Cellophane tape, all kinds of office material, paper. My gosh, I think it's, besides construction waste and pallets, which is construction waste, sort of, that they move stuff around on these pallets. I mean, why don't we recycle this wood? You can make look at the pallet here. This is beautiful wood. This is a semi-hard or hardwood. That's pine, this is pine. This is oak. You know, for Pete's sakes, we can do something with that. And as long as I'm over here, take a look at this beautiful rug. Somebody threw this away because it got wet. This doggone thing is almost an inch thick. I mean, it's probably handmade in India or someplace. My gosh, I can't believe it. Shoes, clothing, I mean, it's endless, the clothes and shoes. There's nothing wrong with these things. They're dirty. Put them in the washer. Give them to somebody. These are like a size 10 or so, 9.5. You know, somebody could use that. This stuff here, these are samples that are given away to architectural firms, basically, and people that are contractors for building, and they end up in the landfill. Why? You can take them off of here and reuse them. Make them into trivets for your hot plates. You know, somebody do something. Look at this. This is a skateboard. I know you knew what that was. You know, why would they throw that away? There's two of them I got out of it. And they just need a little oil on the wheels. See that? The wheels were stuck. You know, that's all. A little oil and off they went. And then this little deal. Look at this. If this didn't work, right, it's aluminum. But you know what? I came with, speaking of ideas, now see, this is a Swifter. I remember everybody's buying these things, and they're really slick. You know, wipe your floor up, take the thing off, throw it in the garbage. I don't know why people, they like ideas, then they decide it's not the thing they want, throw it away. But you know what? I had an idea. Now, what do you think about this one? This is my idea. Why don't we make walking canes, walking sticks, that like this one. See, you can add an extension or loosen, you know, shorten it up, and it's got a real solid base on it. See, when people get older, you know, like me, oh, I can't do this anymore. Well, at least I can get along. I got some support here. You know, this is I mean, what's one idea worth the works, right? I mean, the Swifter deal. Look at this. Here's some stuff you can't see back here. Pens and pencils, toothbrushes. You know, these come in handy for a lot of cleaning projects when they're no good, when they're done in your mouth. Pillows, countless pillows, any kinds of bedding, quilts. I've got the most beautiful quilts. Back to the thing about the needlepoint, people crocheting, people doing knitting and doing all these beautiful quilts and stuff. I mean, and they throw it away? Come on. Anyway, all these different types of, I don't even know what you call these things. They're cases for, you know, all kinds of cases. Look at this. There's nothing wrong with it. Zipper works. But you know where it came from? AIG. You know who those guys are? One of the companies, one of the insurance companies that you and I bailed out. That's a bunch of bull, you know? We need to stand up for what's right. Look at this. Here's another major item that gets thrown away. Food! There was nothing wrong with this thing. It was all sealed up. I opened it up, and I'm telling you, this stuff is delicious. I put it in my mouth, but I wouldn't be able to talk so good. But it's delicious. One of my favorite crackers and Triscuit, they come out with fire-roasted tomato and olive oil. They're yummy. But we throw away between $7 and $8 billion worth of food in America every year. I mean, that's disgraceful. That is, it's just pathetic. Because if it isn't good enough to eat, then we can recycle it, compost it. You know, it's pathetic. By the way, do you know the difference between a million and a billion? It takes 12 days for 1,000,000 seconds to pass. It takes 32 years for 1,000,000,000 seconds to pass. And we have billionaires in this very city. One in particular, he makes a lot of money because he's a smart guy and he's put a lot of people to work. I got 2 brothers that work for him, and I won't mention any names, but he's related to George Washington somewhere. But you know what? These people are givers. They help out people. And I try to get in touch with them so they can help me out a little bit so I can get some money to keep this process going and eliminate landfills. By the way, for every job you eliminate at the landfill, you create 5 jobs right away recycling. I mean, why do we want to throw this stuff away? Look at this. Magazines, beautiful, beautiful magazines. Here's one called The Defenders, the conservative magazine of Defenders of Wildlife. We're all concerned about that. You know, who was it? No, Einstein, I think. One of those brilliant people said, as soon as the bees are gone, we're gone. You know, and we're losing all these people, all these animals and insects that are necessary to us because of our chemicals. Because we don't have any concern. You know, look what's happened with this oil thing. I mean, my gosh, it's terrible. Anyway, we got tons and tons of magazines. Wood. Now, to look at this, you wouldn't think that this is worth nothing, would you? Look at the nails sticking out of it. I don't know where it came from, but this was mahogany. This is mahogany. Now look it looks like that, black, all stained, but now it looks like rough. There's what it looks like when it's polished. You know, you can do all kinds of, make picture frames, you name it. It's endless what you can do with this stuff. Now if I hadn't taken that, you know, it'd be in the landfill right now. You know, how dumb. Lamps, let's put a little light on. That's what we're trying to do. We're putting a little bit of light on what's actually happening. We want the facts. We want the truth. We want to do what's right. So why would we throw this away? There's not a thing wrong with it. Well, it needs a light bulb. That's all. And I found a light bulb the other day. It was in the trash, one of the new fandangled fluorescent ones, and it was in the trash. Been banged around. It still worked. Well, you know what? If it still works, it still works. Look at this deal, you know? You're going like, why in the world you got this thing here? Well, tell you, this is metal. It was in a dumpster. I just stopped because I saw this thing sitting next to this dumpster. I thought it was a chair or a seat for one of the folding chairs for a van or something. It turned out to be the seat to this Arctic Cat wide track snowmobile. And they took, this guy must have been a builder or something. He had access to a heavy-duty saw, must have had a carbide blade, because he cut that snowmobile cowling, the front part, right in half. Cut the windshield right in half, right down through the plastic, and then they cut the rest of what was left there was the seat, which was still, the seat was still good, and was just lots of aluminum. If nothing else, you can still use the aluminum, but the seat was still good. I gave it to a friend of mine that's a mechanic, and him and his family, they're outdoor people with the four-wheelers and stuff. There's no reason to throw that away. Somebody else can use it. Candles, look at this. And this one says in here, no lead. I didn't even know they had lead in candles. You know, weird. But, boy, that is nice smelling. It's some kind of a fruity, tooty stuff. But you know what? If you're not smelling so good when you come home and the place smells a little, maybe you got a cat that you haven't cleaned the cat box, you know, turn the light onto the candle and it'll help fix it up a little bit. How about your sweet tooth? Look at this. This is what happens. I see this all the time. You know, big deal on Easter. They're throwing away all the candy. There's nothing wrong with it. You know, I mean, for crying out loud. You know, it's all wrapped up in aluminum foil, and if I didn't have to talk, I'd be eating one right now. Probably have one after the show. Come on and join us. Anyway, here's a few more items, more books. Here's one on antiques. Huh? Here, see? Right here. Look at that. Why do we want to throw that away? Save it for your kids, great-grandkids, whatever. $1 million is not enough. How to retire with money you'll need. That's right. We need to take all this stuff. This all accounts for millions and billions and probably trillions of dollars that we throw into the ground. But it doesn't make no sense at all. I mean, my pockets are filled with stuff that I find constantly. Which, yeah, I'm glad I reached for that. Well, here's what I found. There's a glass case. You know, keep it handy to protect my glass when I take them off. Here's what I just got out of the garbage. It says, "Leave no trace for the front country. From your backyard to your back country. Leave no trace." You know, that's the thing we're doing. We're leaving a trace. We're piling up all this waste into a hole in the ground, and actually there are places in this world where there's zero waste. That's a fact. I don't know where it is. I think there's one place in Japan somewhere, which makes sense. It's an island. You know what? You know, you only got so much ground. You better take care of it. You know? No, I don't want to throw it in the ocean. Look what's going on to our ocean. There's places in the Gulf of Mexico that are dead. They're totally dead. It's all our fault. But you know what? I've been trying to get people to listen to me for over 14 years. But you know what? I'm not going to quit. Even if you don't listen. I don't care. It's your problem, not my problem. It's my problem, but it's more your problem because I'm doing all that I can. I just hope some of you will listen to me. And we can all work this out together. Look at this beautiful candlestick. It's solid brass. It's got, you know, it's just been antiqued and stuff. It's pretty neat. It was in the dumpster. There's not a thing wrong with it. I mean, if somebody came after you, that's heavy enough, man. They wouldn't want to mess with you. Hey, okay, I'm a, you know, Mr. Pack Rat. You know, you come after me and try to hurt me. You know, I'm going to hit you in the head. I don't want to get hurt. You know, I'm going to protect myself. Here's a couple other items. Speaking of cleanliness, get back to that again. That was in the dumpster. That's a towel dispenser. Look at that. Georgia Pacific, $7 it says. Got the key, the screws, the directions, put it up on the wall, put a paper roll in there, put this on the wall. This is another company, one of their competitors, Kimberly-Clark. You can probably go to the, you know, what's those, the soap, there's a place in Butte. I can't think of it. I'd give them a plug if I could remember the name, doggone it, but that's what happens in my mind sometimes. It'll probably come to me. Anyway, look at this. This is beautiful even though it's been broken. And I can almost guarantee you that this $59.99 candle holder was in fine shape before they threw it in the dumpster. And I'm hoping to go back and find the pieces to this and glue it back together. And if nothing else, you know, you can cut this off of there. See? It still works. Whatever, it's beautiful. I mean, that took a lot of work. This was made in India. Think about all those people in India, which we have, by the way, a lot of Indian people that come to this country, which is, you know, the melting pot of the world pretty much, really, that have, you know, contributed to our society, like all these different nationalities. You know, these Indian people, they're just brilliant. You know, they belong with doctors and mathematicians, scientists. It's wonderful. Some of them probably invented this dude. You know, a weed whacker. You know, this is a home light, and I don't know what's wrong with it, but I do know one thing. Listen to this. It's got compression. So, you know, a little bit of work. This was in the dumpster. And I'm not paranoid. People think I'm paranoid. They think I'm a hoarder. You know, because my trailer that I live in is a 1981 Tamarack that getting close to 3 years ago now was going to go into the landfill. This is pathetic. If I hadn't been able to basically rescue it, but at the time I was homeless. So then I had a home by the grace of God. And because my income is low, the government, and only in America that I know of, these people helped me by, and that's you, all you taxpayers have helped me have a better life. They added the newer storm windows, they added insulation to my attic and to my floor, and they put a brand new furnace in my trailer. And you know what? It's pretty cool. You know why? Because it isn't about me. It's about us. I have 2 homeless gentlemen staying in my trailer right now. And they're grateful to have that place to stay, to get out of the weather. And we can do this for the homeless mothers in Missoula. with children. They put them up in motel rooms. I've talked to these people. I said, well, why don't we get them a trailer? I have a friend that we can move the trailers. You know, we could have our own subdivision. People, you know, somebody's got a few bucks, one of these billionaires is willing to, you know, put out the money to help us start and get a piece of property where we can put these trailers and make it all real nice so that the mothers and their children can have a home. They can have a puppy dog and some pets and have a real home instead of being in a motel and then wondering what they're going to do when they can't stay at the motel anymore, you know? You know, come on. That's what I call uncommon sense. Think about it. Look at this. This came from one of our local sporting goods stores. And you know what else I got the same day I got this? This is a inflatable sleeping pad, self-inflating. You know, you just open her up, pull the old deal, and see what? They made these cuts so nobody would take it. It's like I'm a repairer. I fix things. You know what? I don't think there's anything wrong with the thing. To tell you the truth, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Well, see, they did. See, they got a couple slashes on it, but you can put some Velcro. Here's some Velcro. Hear that? Velcro. Like I said, it's everywhere. Well, you can put. Matter of fact, that's another idea. You know, of some kind of a thing besides duct tape. Look at that. So what? It's got a couple problems. You know what? It's still functional. You know, it isn't worth going into the landfill. That's for sure. And even if we shouldn't have landfills, you know, take the thing, recycle it. Look what we're doing with what we are doing, recycling. You know, it's awesome. You know, here's another thing. Back to the wood thing again. You know, this is, I don't know if this is birch or I don't know exactly what kind of wood it is. But they throw these, I got 4 of these legs. The table, you know, fell apart or something. Somebody got drunk or whatever, fell on the table and it broke. Hey, get up! Okay, anyway, this shouldn't be, this is pathetic. And this is about, well, I'll save the one more item for the last. There's one more item I think I can show you. I think I've shown you most of them here. By the way, American flags. Praise God, I find American flags in the dumpster. You know, that's you know, see, there's not enough education in our country. The red, white, and blue, folks. This is the greatest nation in the world. We got to stop this insanity. We got to stop it. Thank God for MCAT and people like Chris and the rest of these guys that are here to help us get this information out. I hope you'll listen. Look at this. This is a threaded rod. It's probably about 3/4 of an inch by I think it's 14 inches. With the washer deal, there was 5 or 6 of these in a dumpster. A trucker went out of business and he threw all kinds of stuff away, including brand new tools, flashlights, tarp straps, all kinds of stuff. I've been a trucker, so I'm like, gee, I couldn't believe it. You know, why did, even if you got money, put it in a box, put it out like some people do, which more of us should do. If you don't want it, put it out on the curb and say free. But I'll bet you that each one of these bolts are $4 to $5 a piece. I haven't checked it out yet, but, you know, it just doesn't make any sense to me. It's like, you know, it's going to go in the landfill and nobody can even use it. Now here, this is I think the last item I got here, and I got items in my storage unit, I got items in my car, on my car, I mean thousands of things that go in the landfill. You know, everything that we consume, the end result is that it goes someplace else. So the uncommon sense thing to do is to give it to somebody else or put it in a place where it can be recycled. I mean, come on, let's do it. This little vacuum cleaner is just the neatest little vacuum cleaner. It's rechargeable, and someone put it, it was in a box by the dumpster, and I thought, I wonder if that's the box or if there's the item is in there. And it was in there, and it worked. I don't know, who knows? I don't know. I can understand why this happens, But look at this. There's not a thing wrong with it. And it works like a champ. It's just really, really a nice little machine. I mean, it really works. They didn't throw it away because it didn't work. You know? Look at that, see? You can see the stuff, the dirt's picked up in there. Rechargeable. It's a heck of a deal. And look at that, see? It folds down. I mean, this is a nice little unit. Now that's an idea, right? Somebody, and I got another idea for a vacuum, I won't tell you. Well, I think I will. That's the way it's documented. I have an idea, and I'm hoping that somebody will help me do this. It's an idea I've had for years and years and years. It's called Vacuum Pack. You've heard it for the first time today. Get a real one, the newest batteries they have, these really high quality small batteries, and we can make a vacuum that's very similar to this one that you pack, vacuum pack. They have them already, but they are all electric. I mean, as far as, these are electric too, but they're battery operated. I'm talking about a cord. This is be a cordless vacuum that, because I used to do a lot of, at one time in my life, I did a lot of office cleaning and home cleaning and stuff. So it's really nice. We don't have to have a cord to go mess with and trip over and all that sort of thing. So you just go around with this vacuum. So vacuum pack. Let's, somebody out there got a few bucks and want to do this, you know? It's amazing. You think I have a glass here, but here's to you folks. Here's, what do you call that? Salute to your uncommon sense. Oh, one more item. Look at that. It's so small I forgot about it. This is a Verizon, what do you call that, a cordless phone?
Bluetooth.
You know, I mean, this is amazing. These little dinky little things. I found 2 of these in the dumpster. They may still work. I don't know the first thing about them. You know, give them to you young people to, you know, maybe you can use them. Maybe they'll work, whatever. But it doesn't have to go in the landfill.